All right, let's get into this overtime session. And really, I just want to pose a question to the believers out here and to those who really have kingdom mindsets is whose kingdom are we building? It's just a rhetorical question to ponder. Whose kingdom are we building? When I think of the church, when I think of just, how, as I said during the episode, that money has been something that has been a struggle, a challenge for the church. When you think about the abuse and misuse of resources, right? I really start to think like how much more could we do if, and I'm not coming for anybody's church or all this kind of stuff. This is just me thinking out loud, y'all. So bear with me. I think about how we build these large, infrastructure and places and community, and especially, these massive media presence and things of that nature, right? But I don't see that same energy, if you will, towards the community and towards the kingdom, right? Reaching the lost. I think it's important that we don't fall in love with our church or fall in love with our pastor, our leaders, but we truly lead people to Christ, right? I don't think there's anything wrong with enjoying where you worship and those who lead and having that reverence and that honor for those people. But when you place them on a pedestal, when you place your church on a pedestal more than you place Christ, right, or exalt Christ, I think there's an issue with that, right? And so I really want to encourage those listening to start thinking with a kingdom mindset, thinking kingdom first. Whose kingdom are we building? Like, I don't get paid for doing a podcast. I don't get, this, but this is a platform that I can really have an impact for the kingdom, right? Like I've spent so much money on gear, equipment, and all this kind of stuff so that I can help express the gospel and share what God has given me to share with you all. So as we think about these things, like whatever code therapy, whatever this YouTube channel, podcast, all that turns into, like I really wrestle and keep a kingdom mindset with all of it, because I don't want, what good is it for my name or this podcast to blow up, yet no one benefits economically even from those things. And this is especially important to me as, we talk about the Black community. Obviously I'm Black, so talking about the economic challenges that we face and those different things, right? Being able to provide those jobs and being able to provide economic opportunity for others, right? That's why I think it's so important as we talk about leadership, as we talk about the generations. I think even Moses to Joshua, that is generational wealth. Them seeing the promised land for the sacrifices of others, that's generational wealth, right? And we have these conversations of generational wealth and generational, one pet peeve of mine is we've emphasized generational curses and these things, but we don't talk about generational blessings, right? We're so focused on trying to escape these generational curses and wrestling with these generational curses that no, let's shift, right? I understand I'm doing the work. I'm trying to escape these things that may have affected me generationally, but how do I flip that curse and turn it into a blessing? How do I take what was trying to hurt me, what was trying to hinder me, and flip this into a blessing? Flip this so that I can be a kingdom philanthropist, a kingdom entrepreneur, a kingdom-minded person, and so that my family, the legacy that I leave is one of generational blessings, not generational curses, right? So doing that healing, as we talked about a few weeks ago, doing that healing, doing that self-reflection to see what are the areas that I need to heal from. If it is, because some healing needs to take place in our finances, right? Maybe I'm wrestling with my credit. Maybe I'm wrestling with not making enough or putting myself in debt, whatever the case may be. How do I flip this to where I start making smarter financial decisions and really build generational wealth, generational blessings, taking these conversations of consumerism and different things like that, to focusing on how can I be a blessing to my community? How can I be a blessing to my ministry, to my church, to my peers, right? I think if the church, this is just me talking, y'all, if we really, how I see the church, how I architect the church in my head, right, is a building, a place that we not only talk about the spiritual components of life, but we're also able, not only are we building you up spiritually, but we are building you up so that you can maintain and excel, whether it be financially and providing those job opportunities and getting that training that you need and getting the skills that you need to survive in the real world. Because outside of Sunday, I still have to go through the week, right? Outside of this, this moment, this experience, this encounter, while that is great and I love it, right? I get to experience the presence of God, but how do I navigate life throughout this week and really building upon that, right? Ministry is more than just, from my perspective, ministry is more than just helping you learn how to pray and how to be devoted in your walk, but also teaching you how to make money the right way, right? How to excel in your career and in your job and in your family, how you do life, discipleship 101, right? We can't just have Sunday encounters and Wednesday encounters and Saturday prayer, but how can the church, if in its entirety, in its effectiveness, reach people throughout the week? I think we could minister to more people, right, if we're providing these practical things in the world to help them navigate the challenges, help the unbeliever, help the person struggling, help the homeless, help the community in need, right? The single mother, the single father, even, right? People who are struggling, because we know it gets hard out here, right? And I think the church, if we position ourselves accordingly, we can make an impact, right, in the kingdom, for the kingdom. But it takes us really looking at how we do ministry. So that's just me pouring out my heart, y'all. I think it's important that we expand the kingdom in many different ways and look at how we can truly have an impact. So let me know your thoughts. Am I crazy? Am I talking wrong? But yeah, that's going to do it for this overtime session. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Let's think kingdom minded, even in our finances, y'all. So that's going to do it. Until next time, I'm your host, Chae Cole. Peace.